In leveraging more opportunities in mining, stakeholders in the sector have preferred ways the country can achieve the target of 10% contribution to GDP by 2026. Africa Center for Energy Policy on Tuesday disclosed readiness to engage MDAs in policy implementation. Benedict Uku completes the story.
Nigeria's mining sector has remained stunted despite the abundance of natural resources. According to data by the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, the mining sector's contribution to GDP declined from 5.6% in 1980 to about 0.33% in 2020. This is far from the 10% contribution to GDP the sector aims to achieve by 2026. At a roundtable discussion on internalizing regional frameworks in Nigeria's mineral sector policy, organized by the Africa Center for Energy Policy, stakeholders proffered ways the mining sector could generate direct revenue to increase the nation's GDP.
Currently, the situation is such that the sector doesn't even contribute 1% to GDP. Some of the discussions we've had actually answers that. So the issue about getting infrastructure in place, energy, power is a very big component, incentive for mining companies to operate in your country. Getting your geological data right is a very key component. I mentioned that investor decision is constituted by about 60% of geological data. And so for government to be able to push to achieve the objective that it has set out for itself, some of these gaps need to be addressed.
The mining sector opens up significant opportunity, both for revenue generation and also job creation and industrialization of the country. And I think that it is time to pay attention to the potential of the mining industry. Really, we cannot wait any further, but to take up the opportunity that is presented to the continent, including Nigeria, on optimizing the resources, most of which can also contribute to the future of energy, through energy transition.
On the policy framework, the coordinator ACEP, Akachukwu Okafor, disclosed how the center will engage MDAs in policy implementation.
From the policy framework point of view and from real actions in terms of practice in the fields, because many times these policies are there, but you realize that in implementation it's a problem. So we would look at how there are mismatch. Of course, we'll take away the lessons or concerns shared from this meeting. The next is to engage government if there are areas that they need their capacity to be built, that will be done. And also to build the capacity of the local communities, the CSOs, and other stakeholders to really see that discussions from this roundtable engagement is put to action.
Some of the mining host community members pleaded with the federal government to implement community development agreement to address the problems host communities face.
In our community, the artisanal miners are paying the federal government, they are paying the state government, but the major problem is that they are not implementing the CDA. We will have a CDA agreement, that is Community Development Agreement. After writing it, it lasts for 5 years. They don't implement it, they don't do anything, they don't develop the village. Even the youth, they can't employ them. The youth agitated for job. Employ us, because this is the only place we are benefiting from. So if the federal government can come to the aid of the mining host community, if their land is being taken away, they should give them something. They can employ them in the company, they can pay them compensation. Then the CDA, this should be implemented. Let the federal government monitor it.
Nigeria has vast deposits of minerals which can be huge sources of revenue for the government, but they have remained underdeveloped. A concerted effort by the government, stakeholders and CSOs could go a long way in leveraging the potential of the sector.